Okay, so today we are going to learn how to do the Flubaroo assignment, or how to use Flubaroo as a tool for you as a teacher that would be useful in grading assignments very quickly, even faster than grading a Scantron. So we're going to learn how to do that. First, we want to open our Google Drive. Mine is already open. If it wasn't open before, you would first want to go to google.com and then click on this image and go to Drive. And then from there, we have our Drive open here. And we're going to click on Create so we can create a new form to start our Flubaroo assignment. Okay. So it starts out as an untitled form. So let's choose a title for our form. And for the purpose of this assignment, we'll call it by my last name, Goodman. And then we'll call it by the date we're doing it on. So let's do 12/1/13. There we go. And I'll choose default for the purpose of this assignment. But if you wanted to, you could also choose a different format for the assignment if you wanted to. And I'll hit OK. Alright. So now, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to create our questions for this assessment. So we'll start with something simple, such as what is your name, so that we can clearly identify the student when we go back to grade the assessment. And we're going to make that text because we wouldn't want multiple choice, because this is their name, so they have to put it in. And we'll make this a required question. Then I'll go down to adding another item. And this time we're going to skip paragraph text, but we'll learn how to do a multiple choice. Although first I actually want to do one more text. So we're going to do one more text. For this text, I also want to be able to identify the student through their email address. So what is your email address? And again, this will be a text because this is something they will need to fill in. And again, I'm going to make it a required question. This will help me later when I want to send the students the results of the assessment. Okay, so now we're going to go back down to adding an item, and this time we will add a multiple choice. And this time our first multiple choice will be, how do you solve a math problem? Okay. That'll be my multiple choice. Sorry, my multiple choice will actually be not this. This will be for a text. This will be one more text. And the students have learned multiple ways to solve a math problem. So later on, I will show you how to allow for multiple answers when students are answering the form. So I'm going to click on adding a new item, and this time we will add a multiple choice. So for this one, we will say a simple question such as, what is 10 times 5? Okay. And we have multiple choice selected. We'll go to our first option and we'll put in some different answers. So we'll have 70, 50, 30, and 80. Okay. So that'll be for our multiple choice. Then we'll add one more item. There's checkbox and choose from a list. But these are very similar in that both of them, they would need to choose the right answers. So we'll go to checkbox. And for this one, we'll say, what are the operations of math? And we'll say addition, subtraction, then we'll throw in something random, maybe a ball, and then multiplication, and finally division. Okay, so now we have all that complete. So those are questions that we're going to want to use for our assessment. Okay, but keep in mind that for the Flubaroo assignment, you will need to complete 20 questions minimum. So from here, we'll go to done. And we want to view a live form. Okay, so this is what our assessment will look like. We have our name, then the student will fill in the email address, then how they solve a math problem, so they'll type in their answer there. Then they'll have the multiple choice, they'll select the right answer. And then finally, they'll have the checkbox where they will check the correct answers out of the choices given. So let's start out with this form to make our answer key, so that later when we go to grade it, we will have our answer key clearly outlined. So for our name, we're going to want to use answer key because that is the easiest way where we'll be able to identify it as our answer key. Then for email address, I'll put in my email address. csun.edu, okay. Then for this one, there's going to be multiple answers. So what we'll want to do is we'll want to separate those answers with percent and then or, without any space between it. So first we'll put in our first answer, which is solve on paper. And then we'll put percent or solve in your head. Okay. Then we'll put in our answer to this one, which will be 50. And then finally one more, the operations of math. So we know this one, and this one. Now we'll click submit. Okay. Now when we go back here, alright, first we want to choose the response destination. So for this, it will be a new spreadsheet. And we'll click create. Alright, it's setting up the spreadsheet. Now we can click on view responses. We're waiting for the page to load. Alright, so there it is. Okay. So we have our answer key. You can see here it says answer key, so we clearly identify which one is our answer key. Now let's go back and we're going to we're going to complete this form a few more times. So let's complete it a few more times. So we'll have some random stuff here. Joe at gmail.com. Then we'll say solve on paper. Then we can also have some different answers. They don't all have to be correct. So we can say 30, and for our last one, we'll check this one, and this one. Okay, and we'll submit. Okay, let's do a couple more. So again, you can use different names. This is just for the purpose of getting different answers so that you can grade your assessment. So we'll say Ray, and then Ray at hotmail.com. And then we'll say solve in the air. Got this right. And we'll say that he got this. And then submit. Alright, one more. We'll do one more. Alright, and this time we'll put in Melinda at yahoo.com. Solve in your head. And then 70. And we'll say she got this right. So check those and submit. Okay, so now we have a lot of different responses. Keep in mind that you are going to have 20 questions though for your assessment. Alright, we'll go back here and you can see all the different ways that people answered the assessment and all the different people that did answer it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to want to create a script so that way we can grade this assessment. So what we do is we come over to Insert, then Script, and we're going to want to do it for Flubaroo. We're going to want to use Flubaroo as our grading tool, and we'll click on Install. Okay, we'll click Continue. Alright, it's requesting permission, so I will click Accept. Okay, so now it says that it's installed. So we'll close this window, and you can see that Flubaroo pops up here. So now we're going to want to start a script. So we'll click on Grade Assignment. Alright, so it's going to pop up with this window where it says Grading Step 1. So let's see. Okay, here it is. So these two both identify the student, that's correct. And these I also want to keep as questions that are worth points. So you can change how many points these are worth. So let's make this one worth 2 and maybe this one worth 2 again. And we'll click Continue. Okay, now which one do you want to use as your answer key? Now you're going to want to click the one that says answer key, which is right here. So we have answer key here, and we'll click Continue. Alright, now it's grading the assessment. And there you go. Now you can view your grades. Okay, here we are. And you can see how your students performed on the assessment. Okay. Now, what we're going to want to do is we are going to want to share this with our students. So if we wanted to do that, we would go to Flubaroo, email grades, and here you can say if you want to include the answer key. Type in a message to include in the email if you want to say something to the students about the assessment. And then you can click to email your grades. You can click continue here if you wanted to email them. Okay, and from there, what you would need to do is post it onto your website, and you're going to want to post it onto both the media page and the portfolio page. And once you do that, you will be done with your Flubaroo assignment. Okay, thank you.